Hey, welcome to today's daily check-in. And up until about a minute ago, maybe a minute and a half ago, I was sitting here scratching my head thinking, okay, what am I going to talk about today? What have I done today that I can say has moved me forwards with my goal? And the answer really has been nothing. And then something occurred to me as I was sitting here thinking, well, you know what, one thing I know what I'll do. I'll just kind of give a bit of a check-in with how the cards have been going, because I've been spending a few minutes today here and there doing some of the card practice. And then tomorrow, as I said, I'm gonna in yesterday's video I showed you my ham-fisted attempt at doing the triple revolution cut with the cards, and tomorrow I'm gonna do it perfectly. And so I figured, well, I'll do it today and show you kind of the progress that I've made, and I'll do that in just a moment. But when I was just sitting here playing around with them just for a couple of moments, one of the things that I realized that I've been doing with this, which is has been fundamental to not just the habit building process, but the skills acquisition process. And it's something I'm aware that I do, but probably have only really become aware of it since I've been doing the cards, is been stripping down the process, stripping down the thing that I'm trying to learn into its smallest component parts, and then trying to work it out. Well, where is it that I actually get stuck? What is it that I'm currently unable to do, and how can I focus and practice and get better at that bit? So, for example, the revolution cut, the triple revolution cut, the actual revolution cut itself looks like this, where you have the deck in one hand, and you just pop up about half the pack, and you spin it to there, and then you grab a hold of it there, and then you bring it, the top pack, underneath the bottom pack. That is the revolution cut. So I can do that now. I'm still not quite there with the triple cut, which I'll show you in a second, but with that particular movement there were specific bits that I was struggling with, and so I'd go back, I'd rewatch the tutorial videos, I'd just practice those bits, I'd drill it over and over and over again until I was able to do the bit that was the bottleneck. And this has been the kind of the revelation today, if you will, that this doesn't just apply for card magic. It doesn't just apply for building specific skill sets like sleight of hand and cardistry. It applies to pretty much anything that we're trying to learn how to do, and that includes anything along the lines of personal development, well-being, losing weight, getting into an exercise plan. It's trying to identify where the bottlenecks are that you can then focus on shoring up. How can you overcome those specific challenges? So when it comes to losing weight, for example, and I'm going to be sharing this with my group tomorrow, when it comes to losing weight, if your problem is that you can't plan meals, or you find that yourself kind of emotionally reacting to stress by eating the wrong foods, probably no one reacts to stress by eating kale smoothies. It's normally something far worse than that, although it depends on your definition of worse. But how can you tackle that one thing? And then instead of saying, I can't lose weight, or I can't do well-being, I can't get myself healthy, instead of saying this big thing, is what are the specific things that you struggle with doing? And then tackling those things. That's kind of what I've been doing with the Quick Boost program. It's one of the things I talk about, but in a very roundabout route with my talks, some of the talks anyway. But certainly having just had this kind of the curtain drawn back and my mind well and truly opened with the cards, it's something that I can see very, very, very clearly now as to being an absolutely essential component of not just skills acquisition and habit creation, but actually success and feeling like you're making progress and getting specific with the things that you actually need to work on, not just this whole great big chunked up identity of I can't do that. I'm not the kind of person who's able to do that. These sorts of things that we so often end up identifying with, telling ourselves, when the reality is it's normally maybe just a few things that we struggle with because we perhaps don't have the skill set to do that. We don't give it long enough in order to absolutely focus on those things. So that's going to be the reason that's kind of relevant now is because I'm thinking, well, that's something that definitely ties in with not just the talks that I give, but fundamentally what I'm all about, which is helping people make changes to the things they do in their lives that promote their well-being, make them feel happier, improves physical and mental health, whether that's losing weight, getting more active, getting healthier, any of those things. It's about doing more of the things you already know how to do. And so if you can reduce the overwhelm and get yourself in a place where you feel like you are actually making progress and you know what it is you need to work on, then that's all well and good. That's fantastic, and that's what I'm all about. So let's have a look at this triple revolution cut. See, now this is a 6-minute video already. I'm not going to be re-recording this, so if this goes pear-shaped, then it's just going to have to go pear-shaped. I'm only halfway through. I've got until tomorrow to nail it, so I'm going to tilt this down a little bit, and let's see what this looks like. So I'll show you the bits that I was getting stuck on. I realised that I need to take just 1/3 of the deck. If I take too much, then I can't do this. I've worked out how to get that revolution there. That was the first bit to get that position. I had to really work on that. This pack here, this was going all over the place before. The bit that's really been flummoxing me has been 2 bits. First of all, grabbing a portion, the top portion here, with my thumb, and not too many either. So getting just a few there and spinning them one way while the rest of the deck spins the other way. But the bit that's really been foxing me has been this. Getting this pack here between this finger and this finger. So if I can do that like that, so this will work now, then I can grab that and I can drop this pack underneath that, grab them in there, and then you finish it off taking them back around again and come on, underneath. Oh, a bit messy at the end there, but it's just about got round there. But that's it was the getting the pinky and the ring finger on the deck. That was the bit that I had to really work on, and it was just frustrating. I couldn't do it. I kept dropping the cards all over the place, or having to get the other. They were sliding all over. When I realised that that was the one thing that I had to absolutely nail. Well, 2 things actually. There was the getting the thumb to slide the top pack out as well, but getting the getting that position where I can slide it underneath. When I cracked that, and I haven't complete cracked, but I know what to do now. I know what I'm aiming for. And that is the difference. Before, I was just doing it and mashing it up every single time. Now I know what it is that I need to do. And so I've got something very specific to practice. Massive parallels there with well-being, massive parallels there with the things that I talk about. So having come into today's video saying a minute ago I didn't have a clue what I was going to say in terms of what progress I've made, what I've realised is that by doing this, I've been quite a lot of it over the weekend. I suppose I spent maybe on and off perhaps an hour today playing around with the cards. That has been fairly significant for me in terms of that shift in thinking and that realisation, I guess, the realisation. So yeah, all good, all good. Tomorrow though, back to the grindstone, proper work, and I should hear either tomorrow or Tuesday some news about a couple of projects that I've got coming off for July, and kind of keep my fingers crossed that they come out good, but I'm also at the same time not holding my breath for anything I've learned a while ago now that's never a good thing for stress levels or just general focus. So I'll be going back to doing the things that I was doing last week, which is taking big action and moving this thing forwards. Thanks for watching. It's always good to see that even just a couple of people are watching these videos, and I've had some messages and even some comments on these videos, and that's always nice as well. So thank you if that's you. If you're watching it, then appreciated. And I'll check in again tomorrow with what happens next on this particular journey. Bye for now.